September 4th, 1954, Santiago Flight 513 takes off over Germany. The flight was carrying 92 souls, including the crew and passengers. However, before the day would be over, the plane would vanish from radar without any sign, reappearing 35 years later. Once reappearing, air traffic controllers were unable to reach the pilot. It is said that the plane circled around the airport of Porto Alegre, Brazil on October 12, 1989. Once the plane safely landed, it was boarded by investigators, who were astonished at what they saw. Once boarding the safely landed vessel, investigators noticed that everyone aboard had been mummified. They were all skeletons, including the pilot, who was said to still be clutching his controls in the cockpit. Investigators would later say that the plane was actually idling after safely landing, with a skeleton at the controls. After the plane reappeared 35 years later, investigators were mum on its reappearance. However, Dr. Ceslo Atello stated that the aircraft and its passengers most certainly went through a vortex. What happened during that vortex? No one knows. What is known is that everyone was skeletonized, including the pilot who managed to land the plane over 35 years later. The official government report on the incident was nothing. The government stayed mum on it. Nor did they comment on Dr. Atello's claim that the plane had entered a time warp. Such unresponsiveness, interpreted as secrecy from the government, has invoked ire from the public over the years. Rodrigo de Mahana, a former physics professor in Porto Alegre, came out saying the public has a right to know everything about this plane and the government has a duty to tell them. Spokespersons like Mana have been joined by others calling for full disclosure, including Dr. Ceslo Atello, a paranormal researcher, and speculating that the government is actually hiding concrete evidence that a wormhole exists and that the plane had been lost in for more than 3 decades. While the Brazilian government did investigate this strange occurrence, it refused to offer any explanation or theories, much less draw any conclusions. All officials eventually admitted was that the plane had appeared suddenly in the skies and landed successfully, a write-off that obviously didn't sit well with the public. Dr. Atello said it was piloted by the skeleton of its captain and all the crew, and all the passengers were dead. Officials don't want to discuss explanations, but they cannot deny that this airplane has defied the laws of space and time, and God only knows how a skeleton managed to land it. In closing, if you want to do your own research on this story, type in Santiago Flight 513, and you'll find plenty of stories. Rest in peace to the victims of Flight 513. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe to Where in the World is Frank and Gina on YouTube. God bless.